So, hey guys, back again. Now, I made some changes. I created a simple application, a React Flask or a React application, and just create that inside this folder. And I'm running it for the first time. So, we're going to start building this because I want to start building the component and then the route, okay, to connect both sides. So I think that's going to be the best option instead of creating first something and then the other one. So we're going to start some things here that we need. So let's take a look at React router. For routing, so we're going to use this one, npm install react router DOM. Okay, if I can grab that one, it seems okay. Finally, so this is trying to run. Let's control C that. Let's paste and install our react router DOM. That is what we need, and we don't need anything else. Okay, so let me move this to my other screen. So we're going to do something right now. That is, give me a second. I'm going to copy and paste, so I'm not going to do all the, all the typing, but we're going to create a new folder here that is going to be our components, and inside this folder we're going to create three files: the create.js, the item.js, and the main.js. Okay, so those are the three files we're going to use. So let's close those ones and let's come back to the app.js. So inside here, okay, it's installed. So let's say npm start. Okay, let's wait for that to start and let's start. Okay, it opens my edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy what I have and explain what it's doing. So this is your just pure HTML and React, so don't worry about it. Since we have React router, installed, we're going to import the link, and this is going to be our navigation and our routes. So we need to create our routes. So let's inside this folder create routes inside the source routes.js, and let's import our routes there. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. Okay, so we're going to import the components we have from the components folder. So the main create an item, and we're going to add or route them inside this switch in order to create the routes. Okay, and we're going to export those routes. So this is just pure React. Don't worry about it. Just if you are using something different, just change the components, the names, and this is the name of the component that you want to use. This is the path that you are going to use. So if we go to slash, it's going to load the main component. If we go to slash create, it's going to run the create component. And if we go to item and an ID, we're going to load the item component. So that is the only thing that is going on here. So now here we have the route. So let's save that. So the application is running. Let's go to HTTP localhost 3000. So it's the React app, and we need something. I was just going to open this. We need something. Let me move that inside, or it says index. So let's go to the index.js, and it's complaining because we don't have the browser router. So let's import the browser router from React Router DOM, and we need to wrap this inside. Nope, not like that. Inside the browser router. Let's cut this and let's paste it, and let's keep that like that. So just like that, and it should be working. Okay, it's going to say element type is invalid. Oh yeah, because I'm not adding. So let me actually just go to routes, take these two out, and because it's trying to load, I think the routes, and we don't have anything inside our main route. That is the first one we're going to load. So let's go to the main, and I'm just going to copy a. Well, I'm going to build it from scratch maybe. So let's say import React, use effect, use state from React, and import link from the React router DOM. Then we're going to create a new constant. I like to create my components like this. Okay. And down here we're going to export. Okay. Export default or component. Okay. Export default or component. So now we need a render function inside this, or not a render, sorry, a return. So let's say return, and let's return a React fragment, react.fragment. Nope. Okay. And let's return something. Let's say p and main component. Let's see if component, if that fixes the problem. Okay, you can see why that was happening, because we didn't have anything on the routes. So let's actually do the same for the other routes. Or no, let's start with the main, because we want no, because we it's better to start with the create. We're going to send the information right away into the API and then receive. So what we're going to do is first do the create JS, then on the API create the file inside Mongo, and then start with the rest, with the main that is going to receive that, as well as the item. Okay, so we need first to add some data inside the MongoDB database, or the Mongo database. So let me go to create. So let's go to routes, so I have them here. So I'm going to cut this, paste it, save that, and let's come back here to create. I need something from my. Okay, so let's go to source. I think it was in source, right? I can see the. Okay, let me check something. Just give me a second so I can go to my projects, and this one is Flask Mongo React Flask. Where the hell is that? Okay, it's in source. I always forget this. It's in source, and here in source we're going to create a new assets folder, and we're going to copy this and paste a placeholder. So this is the placeholder image that we're going to use. So Now what we're going to use is copy something and start creating or create.js. So here we're not going to use a use effect, or let's keep that in case. And we're going to create a new constant that is going to be create item, not like, no, sorry, it's going to be create and then export default create, and we need a return here, so let's say return, no, let's return a React fragment as well, React fragment. So I'm returning a React fragment because I can add whatever I want inside this, so it doesn't have to be a div or a function or a section or article. Okay, so I can actually create my own structure here without adding a container. So if I remember correctly, this is going to be set into a div anyways. So let's say p create route. Okay, you can see we have this create route. So let's go back. No, let's stay in on create. So let's start adding what we need. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to explain what it's doing. We're going to need some parts in order to create our item. So we need a product name, a description, a price, and the image that is going to be only a string. So these are the functions that we're going to use: set product name, set description, set price, and set image. And all those are going to use first the state of an empty string. Okay, that's the only thing is passing here that is going on. So let's actually create the form. I'm just going to copy it. Sorry if this is like but if you know React, you should already know all this. So let's copy and paste this. I'm going to explain it, of course, but just bear with me. Let me just remove that spacing. So this is a form. We're going to create this one so you can see. This is a form with the class create. The onSubmit is going to go into a create item. So let's create that constant create item. Okay. So it's gonna be like this, and this is going to be the function that activates when we submit. So we're going to pass here an event because we need to say event prevent default in order to block the default behavior that is going to be refreshing. Okay, give me a second, I'm just checking. Okay, so if I say, let's say console.log data, you can see we have the form here. Don't worry about all this, that this is because we're not using this. It is defined, it's not being used, and use a fake and all that shit that React likes to complain. So product price, let's say 34, and image, let's say that, create post, and you can see we receive the data down here. Okay, so it's going to say create on line 14. So this is working. Now you can see that this is active, so this is being used. How it's being used? We're going to add an onChange inside our HTML or text area or HTML, I'm sorry, or input or text area and the other two inputs depending on what we want to have. So this one is the name. So we're going to use set product name and get the values in order to get a name. Also with the description, get the value of the text area in order to get the description. The price and the image are going to do the same. Okay. So here at this point, when we type something, we have the information we need, but we are not using them. So every time we add something like set product name and add something product name or any one that we are using is going to be filled, is going to have something. So we can use those. So let's say here to create a constant, okay, constant that is going to be item. No, it's not a function, it's an object. So let's say name is going to be product name, comma, description is going to be a description, image is going to be image. I'm just adding it like this so you can see, but we can actually remove this and you can see that it's going to be added anyways. So let's add it like that so you can see what is going on. And amount is going to be the price. If I can type the price, okay? So here we're going to create the item that is going to contain this information. So now I don't have that, right? I don't have the, okay, let's add this image that should be there. So let's create this constant down here so we can see, or no, up here. Constant is image ready. So let's add now a variable that is going to be let image preview, and we're going to say the next thing. If image is ready, what that means is that if we have something here on the image input, we're going to add that image as the source so that this is going to display the image, and if it's not, if there's nothing there, meaning this thing is empty like that, it's going to show the default image, okay? And since that is a constant, a variable, let's add it down here. Okay, so you can see we are having this. So if I say whatever 34 and let's add something, you can see it's going to take the URL and show us what it has. Of course, this is not going to work if you add something that doesn't have an image. So this is just a demonstration. In case you want to add files, you can check how to add, how I did that using Angular and Flask API using MySQL. Okay, but in case you want to check that is in the channel, you can open a new application on Firebase, use that storage, and this, okay, send well, upload the file. You can upload the file and get the URL from that file and add it inside Mongo, so you can have a file uploads instead of using this. Okay, so check out the I know if you don't like Angular or But if you want to learn more, you need to start checking how to integrate that is using Flask, MySQL, and Firebase storage in order to manage file uploads. So just check those parts. It's almost the same. So just check those parts. Those are in the channel, and so you can add your file uploads here, because I didn't want to add all that overhead into this application. I wanted to release this one pretty fast. I didn't do that here. I just copied what I had on my MERN application and used that with Flask instead of Node.js. Okay, so that's the only reason why I'm using the same behavior instead of adding something else. But check those videos if you want to know how using Fire storage, and in this case saving to MongoDB, how that would be. Okay, so let's keep working. So we already have that, and what we're going to do is going to start communicating with our API. The API is still running, so you can see it here, it's still running, and we're going to create that in a second. So this is going to be about the create component, but we need to send, in order to access that, we need to send something. We need to send this item. So what we're going to do is create a constant. Let's type this thing out. Options is going to be equals to a method, okay, that is going to be post. We need to add some headers because this is content type. The API is expecting JSON, so that's why we are doing this. In my other example using Angular 8, Angular already added the form data, so we were using form data, not JSON, so we didn't need to add the header. I don't know if React does the same, if adds the correct header in order to send form data instead of a JSON. So maybe I will add something so you can, what I'm going to try to do, application JSON, is to show you different examples of working applications that you can use, or at least so you can understand. So this is JSON stringify item, so you can understand how to integrate different things using different technologies. Okay, that's what I want to do with this channel. So here we have the options. So you might be asking why we need these options. Let me copy all this because this is just pretty simple validation. If description, image, and product name and price are empty, we're not going to send anything. So we're just going to console else the form is not valid to be sent. Let's say that. So you might be asking why we need these constant options, because we're going to make a fetch request. Okay, let me copy all this so I can have it. Something we don't have yet on the API, but we're going to create that. So we're going to fetch to the localhost 5000 API create, and we're going to pass the options so it knows what it needs to do. So it needs to make a port request, need to send the content type header, and as the body we're going to send the item, that is this. Okay, Now, then we're going to receive a response that is going to be JSON response, and we need to return this, the JSON, the response, sorry, that JSON, and this is going to come from the, let's add a catch because I didn't add that, to error and console that log that error if there's an error. So let me add this. Okay, so we are going to receive a response here, and this should be it. This should be working. So let's save that and let's see what happens. Let's add whatever we want, and here create post. You can see localhost create API. Well, yes, we receive a not found. So let's create that. So we have the, nope. Well, yeah, we need to come back here. So as I said, we're going to create for each route a new blueprint. Let me go to my routes so I can see that. So let me see. Okay, so we have the create. Well, I haven't created that. Create route. Just let me check. Yep. Equals blueprint create. I always type that wrong. Underscore name and create route that route API and create the method is going to be post, and we're going to create a create function so we can start adding. So let's say print request that JSON, let's say flush true, Control C, and let's see what we have. We need to restart the server, and let's say create post. Not found. Oh yeah, why we didn't find this route? Because we still need to come back here to add the create route and to register that up, the register create route. Okay, Control C, run the app again for the API. Okay, this should be working, and let's create post. Internal server error. Okay, oh, we're not returning anything. So let's say return JSONify data, and this is create response. Okay, lol. You can see the view function didn't return a valid response, so that's why we got that error. So you can see data, and we have syntax unexpected token create 48. Okay, let me check. Right, I close that. Let's go to create. Let's close this ones. Route is done. HTTP localhost 5000 create. Let me see if that's okay. That should be okay. Options. Am I missing something? No. Okay, so let's add. Let's see if that works. Let's add. Or maybe I did something wrong inside the. I'm just checking my files. Okay, so give me a second. Content type application JSON. Application JSON. Let me just copy the header back. So in case that is what is going on. Okay. And let's actually create the route right now that is going to send the information to Mongo to see if that is working. So let's Control C and let's Flask run again. Okay, let's refresh just for good luck. Let's add whatever we want. Okay, seems it was a problem with the header. Okay. So we don't get anything right now here. That's odd because we should be getting the request JSON. So let's see if we can add into the items. Okay, you can see that we have 0 there. So let's see if we can add. Let's keep that JSON and let's just move this down a little bit and let's start. So let me see, API create. We have the same because I copied that one. API create, okay. It's going to send item, okay. So let's see. So let me check because this shouldn't be, this should be getting, let's say name. Let's copy that. I mean, let's save that. Let's run this. So in case that is working, that should be sending us the information. Internal error. Okay, that's the let me see if I can get the request. Request JSON. So let me copy this in case I'm doing something wrong. Request JSON. I'm just restarting the server. Okay, you can see. Let's post that. And it says none for some reason. Request. Let's just handle the request. Let's see. The methods are okay. At this point, I'm just testing. I'm getting the request object from localhost 5000 API create is a post request. So okay, let's see if we can add the next information. So let's say name. So the request is going to have a JSON. It should have a JSON, and we should get what we are sending. That we are sending the name. Okay, and let's go to create the name, description, image, and amount. So that's what we are going to get. description equals to a request that JSON that get description image request that JSON that get image and amount. There's going to be request JSON that get amount. So from this, we're going to create an object. Well, I can remember the name of this thing in Python. I think it's dictionary. I can't remember. So name, we're going to add the name we have. For the description, we're going to add the description we have and do so for the rest image. And the other one is amount, I think. Yep. And is amount. So we have this, and remember that we have our collection here, so we should be connected, and we're going to add inside this collection. We're going to insert one. We can insert many, so insert one item. So that should insert that, and let's say item created successfully. So let's close this, Flask run, and okay, repost, syntax error, and it says non-object has no attribute. Okay, this is why it's not working. So it's not working. Why? Create route API create. So we're receiving the post. Description, request description. So request, why is not getting the request? So this should be inserting that. So the problem seems to be inside the create. So let's go and actually constant item. We have all this. Fetch method post. So let's actually change all the options. Maybe I added something wrong there. Control C. Okay, whatever. This is request create. Okay. So the problem was with the options. Let me constant options. So this is what I had, and this is what I pasted. So I don't know if you can see something different. Let me know, but no. So this is what I had. So let me remove that. Control C, so we can check, and yeah, let's try again. something else, create post, and you can see we are getting the information. So in fact now we can say request JSON, because now we are getting the request for some reason. We need to control C this and restart it. That's odd. Something else. 56, and do I have something else over there? This one? No, that's the same one. This one. Okay. So create post. You can see data here, and now we can see what we are getting. We're getting the name, the description, the image, that is just an URL, and the amount. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure what I did wrong with the headers. The headers seem to be the same. No, it's create. So I'm not sure what is going on there. Method headers. Oh, maybe I missed a. I think I know what I did. Maybe I missed a comma or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so that is working, and we are sending and receiving the information. Okay, so what we want now is to get the information here. So let me see the time. 41 minutes. So we're going to leave it like this. My dog that. So, and then we are going to receive the information. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So this one is already done, the create, so we can create now, and you can see we are receiving the information. And let's refresh this, just so you can see we add now 3 objects, and it's adding the object ID, just like that. We're going to edit all this, so don't worry. I mean, we're going to add some real information, not just a sheet like that. So yeah, next part we're going to check receiving the information here, and editing and deleting are going to be the next things. So you can see it's not that complicated. In order to create a new post, we're going to receive the JSON request, because that's what we are sending, and that's what MongoDB wants. Okay, we create the variables from those JSON responses. Okay, we get what we want, what we are sending here inside the item, and we create a new item to pass all that information and insert one into the collection and pass the item, and that's it. So remember, we have our client Mongo, or Mongo client, sorry, that is the client that manages the connection. We tell them, or we tell it, we want this not striped to database, and inside that we want the items collection, and that's it. So we will create the next routes later, and see you on the next one.